Excellencies, distinguished members of the African Union Peace and Security Council, distinguished partners, ladies and gentlemen. Climate change is no longer a distant risk. It is already reshaping peace and security dynamics across Africa. The continent least responsible for global emissions, yet most affected, faces the harshest climate impacts with cascading effect on stability, development, and human security. I listened this morning to the strident call made by President Chapo of Mozambique for urgent assistance to his country following the devastation caused by Cyclone Gezani. In essence, the president said his government has plans to adapt, but lacks adequate funding. Chairperson, the recent climatic events in Mozambique and Madagascar are a tale of a grim reality. We are entering a period of climate overshoot. Yet, those most exposed to climate security risks remain the least able to access adaptation finance, as you yourself, Chairperson, have just highlighted. This trajectory demands stronger political leadership to reinforce the continent's resilience and safeguard peace. We commend you, Chairperson, and PSC members for prioritizing this critical matter. Excellencies, the question is no longer whether climate change influences peace and security. It does. As the UN Secretary General warned last month, and I quote him, "A world in climate chaos cannot be a world at peace." Climate change is a threat multiplier, inflaming tensions over land, water, and food, forcing people from their homes, and tearing at the ecosystems we all depend on. Climate justice is an investment in peace and security because vulnerability anywhere becomes a risk everywhere. End of quote. This is a warning, but also a solution. The Secretary General has emphasized that adaptation is now a foundation for stability, peace, security, and shared prosperity. Africa's potential is immense. Climate-proofing food systems, water resources, and accelerating renewable energy will deliver conflict prevention, peace, and development dividends. I wish to commend the AU for its leadership in addressing climate-related security risks. The African leaders' Addis Ababa Declaration on Climate Change recognizes climate change as a conflict risk multiplier and calls for strengthened conflict-sensitive adaptation responses. Chairperson, we are also meet at a moment of renewed momentum as the AU advances the common African position on climate change, peace, and security. A landmark effort to establish a coherent continental framework. This sets a global precedent for addressing climate-related security risks, and UNOAU is proud to accompany these processes. Across the continent, the UN-AU partnership is delivering concrete results through climate security mechanism and it deploys CPS advisors. We are supporting member states and regional bodies. Recently, we supported Somalia to access over $100 million in conflict-sensitive climate finance from the Green Climate Fund and continue to assist Chad and South Sudan. Last year, we supported the first AU-led CPS climate finance readiness program in Cairo. UNOAU and the CSM will continue strengthening support in line with AU leadership. Excellencies, as Ethiopia prepares to host COP32, we must ensure Africa's leadership shapes global outcomes. A successful COP32 must deliver peace dividends for the continent. This requires integrating climate and conflict risk analysis into early warning and crisis response, reframing adaptation finance to support peace, stability, and community resilience, strengthening cross-border environmental and natural resource governance, and scaling up AU-UN action through CAP, CPS, and the Addis Ababa Declaration to reinforce resilience and adaptive capacity. Excellencies, allow me to conclude with the following recommendations for your consideration. First, finalizing and operationalizing the CAP CPS will be pivotal in providing a coherent continental framework that reflects Africa's priorities and affirms Africa's special needs and circumstances. Second, strengthening AU climate security coordination by revitalizing the interdepartmental climate security cluster will reinforce cross-pillar coherence. Third, deeper integration of climate and conflict risk analysis across AGA and APSA pillars will enhance anticipatory and preventive action. Fourth, scaling up the mobilization and targeted allocation of conflict-sensitive adaptation finance, supported by readiness assistance and capacity building, will help ensure resources reach the communities that need them most. And fifth, developing a joint CPS roadmap toward COP32 with clear milestones for coordinated AU-UN advocacy will help consolidate Africa's unified voice at this critical moment. Chairperson, the risks are clear. So are the tools. What is needed now is the political will to act collectively and consistently. I thank you for your kind attention.